Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video. I've been doing this for 50 years. I worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. So the things that I tell you are very important. I tell you this to educate you so you know what's going on. I don't do a lot of blabbing. I get down to the point. I give you insider information and tips if I can. I am a national expert in IRS resolution matters. I've worked about 10,000 cases, and I have a whole team of former IRS agents on staff. We all work together. I've been in the national news a number of times. You can see my interviews and my team, which is the most important feature of what I do at 777irs.com. Anyway, today, what am I talking? Oh, I'm talking about how to settle your back tax debt. Settling back tax debt. So that's what everyone's searching for. The first thing is you got to stop believing the ads. Most of the ads are just put out by these companies who want you to call, salesmen that want to get in your pocket, and they have no idea what they're talking about. No idea. Okay. I was a revenue officer. I taught the offer and compromise program, the settlement program, the tax forgiveness program. It's all called the offer and compromise. I was a national instructor for that for IRS. I should say regional, not national. So let me just tell you how this process works and system works and how to settle your IRS tax debt. Getting over the flu. Anyway, there's 2 ways to do this. Do this by yourself or hire a professional. How do you make that decision? I have no skin in this game, but I'm just telling you, if you think you've mastered this, do it yourself. There's nothing wrong with trying to settle your tax debt. You can go, there's an IRS tool called the Offer and Compromise Pre-Qualifier tool. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to find out if you're eligible to settle your debt through the offer. Only the Offer and Compromise can settle your debt. There's only 2 forms required. The 433 AOIC, which is the financial statement, it's complicated as hell, and the 656, which is the offer itself, complicated as hell. However, if you don't have a lot going, you don't have a lot of stuff that is in your life like assets and a lot of income, just do it yourself. There's nothing wrong with doing this yourself, nothing at all. However, if you have assets, it's a complicated case, and you have a financial statement that could be problematic, have nothing to do with this, because if I was an agent, I would eat you alive. Don't do that. An IRS agent, when they get these forms, they look for the stink. You know where it is. You work thousands of cases. You look at the forms and you go, oh, this doesn't make sense. So what you need to do to settle your debt, you have to, first of all, make sure it's settleable. Is your case settleable? So the pre-qualifier tool will let you know if you're in the ballpark. Number 2, if you could sell all your assets and pay the debt off, IRS is not going to accept your offer. They are not going to accept it. I have people call me. They have money in a pension plan. They have equity in their home. They have more money to pay the tax, but they don't want. You're not going to settle your debt. Don't give your money to anyone. You're going to get ripped off. I used to approve these, and I used to deny offers and compromise. Don't give your money to someone if you have the IRS isn't going to discount your debt for any reason. They can't. They're not allowed to. 3 more things I'm going to tell you. If you're going to hire someone, like if it was me or whoever, you want to give them the IRS financial statement that you're giving to IRS to make sure you're a qualified candidate. Do not give your money to anybody, unless you've given them that financial statement. It's the only way you know whether you can settle the debt or not, okay? So the last thing, that person either has to be an enrolled agent, an attorney, or a CPA. Those are the only people licensed to practice. If you try to call someone, you're going to get a salesman. They're going to get in your pocket. They're reading scripts. They know what they're doing, and they're going to try to convince you we can settle your debt. They can't. There's a form, there's a system, and you have to know that, or you're going to get ripped off. Plus, the downside is you're extending your statute of limitations for a year, plus the time it's in offer status, and you don't want to do this. If you've got the money, you need to hire a professional, first of all, to find out whether you can settle. Then if you can, it's not so much about settling, it's how do you settle for the lower debt. That's where Mwah comes in. Anyway, thank you very much. Oh, by the way, make sure all your tax returns are filed. IRS was going to be insistent that your tax returns are filed. Give me a subscription. I'd really appreciate it. I need those because YouTube says I need them. Everyone needs them. Thank you very much. I appreciate you listening.